All right. So this video is coming to you as someone that's recently got back into modeling and happened to break their very first pair of Godhands. Now, me being me, and probably like most modelers, if you can afford them to begin with, then what you pay for them isn't the question. It's whether or not you want to have those to save you time, energy. After personally buying them from using Tamiya double-bladed nippers, then moving to something a little less expensive, the Vulcans here. I'm sure most modelers are familiar with these. I finally upgraded to the blue Godhands. And these, as everyone knows, are in a league of their own. I mean, they are what everyone compares every new nippers to that come out, and that's ultimately what we want to know. Are they as good as the Godhands? And from a good majority of the videos I've seen, there's a lot of new nippers out there that come close, but there's a trade-off. Generally, they seem to be not as good. They're lacking somewhere, but generally they're a cheaper price point. So you're not paying as much to get something that's almost as good. But I think I've found the nippers that are finally going to make Godhand stop and go, okay, we need to up our game a little bit. We've led the competition for so long, and I think these two nippers I'm about to show you finally stack up. I have both Godhands here. I eventually purchased these. These are a tad thicker with the nipping blade than the standard Godhands. Now, I do like to do a 3-point cut sometimes. I will take things off the runners, or should I say clip my runners, move to these, and then finally I like to only even use these if the cut itself is worth using, and that means it's a flat piece, and I know it's going to come off smoothly. If I know I'm going to have to sand it, it happens to be on a rounder part where I know I'm not going to be able to keep these flat against the piece and cut to give me that nice, beautiful, clean, unstressed mark. I may even skip over it, just go right to sanding. You got to call it like you see it when it comes to cleaning up those nub marks. But there is by no means a pair of nippers that have been better. Now, I recently broke my Godhand, so I've had these particular pair for a while, a couple years now, but I have not used them. I haven't built any full models with them. I have snipped a couple parts with it because my previous pair recently broke. But it happens. These blades are super thin, and honestly, they were damaged from a family member using them to try and snip a piece of jewelry to fix a bracelet, but they still work just fine. So I figured if they still had the edge where I need it, but I ended up snipping through the runner and it broke the blade. When it says do not snip these runners, as a caution, don't do it. These blades are thin, and when they finally break through, it is a sudden release of energy and it will break your blade. There's a reason they tell you not to do that. But these are expensive. They're $60, at least if you want to purchase them on Amazon and get them, in a couple days. Yes, you can find them cheaper for $50, but you will wait to receive them, which is fine, if you want to save the money. I do it myself. If I, you know, don't want them that bad, or, you know, but our contenders. The first ones you might recognize if you go on YouTube. I mean, if you go on Amazon, you might recognize these purple handles. These are the Nurutto clippers. These things are absolutely gorgeous. They're $50. The handle being different was originally caught my eye. When you are searching these, you'll notice that there's two different models. You have the purple and the orange, which online it looks more of a yellowish color, which I actually think I like better than this orange, but still gorgeous. And then there's a blue model, so purple, and then this is a light baby blue color to designate whether these are right or left hand snippers. That's right, these are a set, left and right. Now you're thinking, why would you possibly want to have a set of these? If you're left-handed, you buy the left. If you're right-handed, you buy the right. Well, that's all fine and dandy until you come to those parts that have a nub where it's not easily accessible to cut on the left and right hand side. If I can show you here, if I wanted to clean this nub mark up on this side, normally I would hold it flat, or I'd probably clean it up a little bit more first. These are the Vulcans. Use those to, I'll even show you my process. I might come in something like the red Godhands. And then clean that up beautifully. But what do you do with this part? How do I get this flat to the edge? Well, this is the first company that saw it. You want to know what? Maybe there's someone out there that would rather have the edge on the other side so I can still clean up those beautiful nub marks from the other side. Now, obviously, I'm not as coordinated with my left hand, but it is nice to be able to clean those marks up and not have to use the nippers in an awkward angle or direction, which is amazing. You know, I don't think any other company out there has a left-handed nipper. So I was originally gonna purchase both the left and the right. You know, I was gonna take a chance on them. There wasn't a whole lot of reviews on Amazon, but when I say that these things are absolutely gorgeous, these for $50, I think are better than the Godhands. Both cut equally good, both do the job exactly the same. Where I think these stand out is the finish. Look how much cleaner those edges are. You can see where they used a circular grinding disc to get in there and slowly grind it down, where these are just finished off a little bit nicer. Now, don't get me wrong, the Godhands have a nice clean finish regardless. It just comes down to that last little bit of aesthetic. You know, if you're gonna compete for the Godhand position to be the best nipper there is for $50, you got to do something a little extra. They're already the king. So look how clean those are. Not to mention, I actually love the color scheme of these, as well as the little flame symbol on there. Hey, you want to know what? Anything different, new or neat to bring to the modeling hobby, I'm all for. It's hard to see here, but this does actually have that, I believe it's a titanium spring that they use in these. So same spring in each one. Same stopper. Trying to get the lighting just right here for you. Let's continue to... Now it's difficult to compare because as you're looking at this, you're probably thinking, oh, that blade looks a little thicker. But remember, these are left-hand nippers. So it's actually, to properly compare it, these are your two blades. The Godhand seems a little more polished on the outside. Like they spent a little more time cleaning up the edges here on the outside. But I would rather take this beautiful finished clean edge right there over the shininess. You know, maybe it's not something anyone even cares about, but these are $50 to receive next day. I literally got these, I ordered them 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and literally got them the next day. I thought these were going to be it, but before I decided to purchase the right-handed ones, the ones with the blue, I was just searching, clicking on random things, and I found what I think might be even better than both the Godhand and the Nurutto snippers. I've never heard of this company. These snippers had no reviews. They actually didn't even pop up when I was looking through nippers. Another pair, the double-sided blade nippers that they make for this company, was what originally caught my attention, and then clicking on the actual affiliate site for it, I came across these. Now maybe someone else has seen or heard of these, but I have not. Again, they had no reviews. I took a chance at $41 for these. The pictures looked, you know, photoshopped. They didn't look like they were the actual nippers, but, you know, having no reviews, but I took a chance. And let me just say, if you are thinking about purchasing the next one and you've got the disc bays, which is what I originally wanted. I wanted that case. I think everyone's attracted to that. I wanted that case. But again, they were $50 to get next day. And I saw these. These things are clean. These are probably even a thinner blade than the Godhands. And they are clean. Again, not as clean as the Nuruttos, which I'm probably saying that wrong. There is a little nick right there where you can see they didn't clean it up. But again, better than the Godhands. Cleaned up better than the Godhands. I get it. You know, it doesn't really affect anything. It doesn't really affect performance, but at the end of the day, when you're paying $50, $60 for something, I mean, it should be immaculate. And so they were able to get away with doing things like that because while people were close, you are ultimately sacrificing something at that price point. But these $41 P.I.T nippers are the cleanest cutting nippers I've ever used. So let's take a look. Just smooth. I just want to do a couple more for you here. This is probably how I generally cut a majority of my runners. I don't do 3 steps all the time. For everyone knows why. Time. Let's see if I can get a real good angle here. I see 0 white mark. I mean 0. These things are butter. Oh, that was my fault. I didn't have the blade completely flat that time, but even still, it took a little bit of a divot out of that one. It's a little more difficult cutting these on camera than I thought. But when I say for $41, if you're already going to spend the money on the Godhands, these are worth a look. I mean, just clean. I brought some blue runners here so we can look over all of them. So we can go in a order. Heard that land across the room. Let's go to the Vulcan, which I've actually cleaned these up a bit. They were not finished to my particular taste when I got them. They're great for what they are for 30 bucks as a, you know, a runner snipper. I don't think I would ever use them flat against my piece. I know I have, but when I'm just moving along, snapping pieces together, these are the PN 120 Godhands. Oops. That was a good one. This is what you typically see, which is that little bit of a stress mark right there at the end. Not a whole lot, but it is there. The Godhand, SPNs, the Legends. See if I can get another cut. Just the tiniest mark. I am cutting these a little thicker. If I was to do it, to shave it off a little bit more, which is more along the lines of what you're doing when you're removing those nubs. Look at that, just gorgeous. Then the P.I.Ts, brand new to the category. Just clean. Just clean. All right. And then just to show you quick, I am right-handed, as these are left-handed nippers, but that doesn't mean they won't work any different. As you can see, cutting the other way. Again, I think these are right on par with the Godhands. For 50 bucks though, I mean, you're really not saving any money. I mean, I did get them next day where the Godhands were 60 bucks next day. I'm loving these. If money's no object and you're thinking, I want the rights, I want the lefts, why not have a matching set that's gorgeous, and buy these? If you're looking for the one nipper that's gonna stand out, the best of the best, and come in cheaper, I recommend these. I've never heard of them before, or this company. P.I.T, they say model nipper right on there. I know it's a little hard to see, but it's the same logo as this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving the snap case. This should be the new standard. I wish Disbay's got down where I almost bought those just to get that little carrying case. I mean, I'm not sure why more companies aren't doing that. I'm not sure what the cost is on these, why they can't ship them with something to keep these things protected. But these are awesome. Those are gorgeous though. Again, it kind of depends on the cut I take. Some are better, some are worse. I mean, if you wanted to spend the money on the Godhands, you know, I don't think you would find yourself disappointed. They are the best of the best for the reason, but with these new introductions coming in, not only cheaper for the same, if not better quality, and then now right and left-handed additions, they are gonna have to probably up their game here to stay competitive. Maybe not. I mean, their name might carry them, but if I know the modeling community, you're going to be looking to save a few dollars because, well. All right, folks. Well, that's it. Just want to share that with you. Been doing a lot of research and trying to find the next addition to my cutters. And every time I'm thinking, all I want to know is, are they good as the Godhands or are they not? Well, there it is. Found a couple pairs I think will do you justice. Feel free to comment, tell me what you think about this new left-handed cutter edition, if it's going to catch on or if it's just a gimmick. I'm feeling it. Hell, I bought one already. And if anyone else has seen, heard, or have tried these as well, I'd love to know what you think. I definitely think these are where it's at for the moment for the price. So have a great night.